Good day, my plant foldies. This is Richie at Grow Folds, and today we'll be big box store plant shopping at the Lowe's out here in McKinney, Texas. We are going to be finding the January 2026 plant finds, what is hitting the shelves, what is new. We're going to be looking at Costa Farms plants and any new plant trends and discussing it in today's shopping video. So come alongside with me, plant foldies, as I go to this big box store and see what plants we will find at this Lowe's location. As always, if you like this type of content, please make sure you are literally pressing the thumbs up or like button for this video. It definitely helps push this content out to more plant lovers like you. So let's go ahead and take a look at what's at this Lowe's. All right, plant foldies. So we are looking at some of the shelves that are here at Lowe's. It is a windy late afternoon, but I figured I'd take you guys alongside with me to go shopping for all things planty related. You know, it is January, it is exciting, it is the new year, and I am loving the fact that I've been able to take you guys alongside with me to go shopping for plants. This channel has really evolved in the first week of the new year. So we're going to see what kind of plants and planters we'll find. As you can see right over here, a lot of these big box stores are actually starting to load up on planters, specifically these large planters for the outdoor garden. Let me know in the comments section, plant foldies, if you love to grow plants outdoors, if you are anticipating springtime for 2026 to grow some gardens. I love to do that as well. And as much as I love to talk about house plants, you know, that is the main niche for the channel, I did want to just talk a little bit more so about just what we are seeing on the shelves in terms of plants. And obviously look at all of these planters right here. You can see these are the Lavera vase planters. I love the organization that they have here, and these ones have a very distinctive design. And you know, I was always talking about a lot of my content having a mixture of home decor, plant aesthetics, and as far as Home Depot, you will always find the Talavera type planters. These are handmade in Mexico. And you know, speaking of handmade and just things, I'm gonna go on a little bit of a chat just as for a second and ask the viewers here, how do you feel about AI? And how do you feel about AI impacting our business and our plans, how we go about things? And I ask this because AI is very easy to just fabricate things to make it easier in terms of, say, content creation. You can literally tell AI to make a video about houseplants and it will do it for you. But in terms of like human interaction, I just feel like imperfection is what makes us human. Imperfection is what makes us grow. And I have just been thinking a lot about that as I have made this type of content, plant foldies. I know that it is going on a little bit of a tangent, but I am just curious. Let me know in the comment section how you feel about AI, whether you want AI to create video descriptions, for instance, or video titles. Is that the most effective way to, say, grow a social media platform? I try not to lean into AI as much. I try to make sure that my content is really fostered from an organic source, which is my mind. And so oftentimes I end up yapping a lot or just going on a tangent. But when I think about like the Talavera planters, these are handmade planters, and I love things all handmade. I just think that it brings the human out of it. And you know, some people find AI as something a little bit fearful because we don't truly understand it. Just like how plants grow and how plants continue to evolve and grow for us, it's the same thing with our habits and just the way we live. How do we adapt and utilize things like AI, which makes it even easier for us? I guess just making it more convenient in some sort, but also leaning onto the authenticity of just human interaction, human imperfection. And so I just don't know. I wanted to open that discussion. It is really important for me to talk about topics while I do these shopping videos. And obviously, you got to wait till the very end of the video to see my plant finds, my plant picks, and just things that are really hitting the shelves. But as you can see right here, there's not a lot of foot traffic because January, when it comes to like retail, a lot of retail really starts to slow down. So whenever you're going to big box stores like Walmart, Target, Home Depot, Lowe's, you'll see that there is a less foot traffic, which makes it easier for me to actually create content that, you know, centers around shopping and finding what is hitting the shelves for January 2026, the new year. And of course, every time I go to this Lowe's location, and if you like this type of content, definitely watch some of my other videos after you finish this video if I keep you guys engaged. But definitely watch these videos because my past videos actually feature a lot of the things I've talked about, such as terracotta planters. You guys already know plant foldies. I love terracotta planters. It's got a very unique, classic look about it. And as far as the uses of terracotta planters are great for plants that do not like to stay in very soggy soil substrates. So for instance, I talked about challenging plants that I want to potentially grow for the new year 2026, and that would be succulents and cactus. This would be a perfect vessel planter for a succulent and cactus. Y'all already know I absolutely love Aglaonema. Let's use the hashtag. Say it in the comment section. Hashtag popularize Aglaonema. It is a Chinese evergreen plant. Did you know, with all of my struggles with Aglaonema, and that's not something I really shared last year, I will be a little bit more transparent with that as you continue to hopefully tune into my videos, but Aglaonema actually really do not like to be in soggy soil substrates. So terracotta planters like this is another type of vessel that you can put a plant like an Aglaonema. I would honestly recommend it. I think that is the best planters, is to put them in a terracotta planter. And as far as retail, as far as shopping, as far as what we are seeing on the shelves in terms of house plants and just big box store plant shopping, you'll see that the shelves are starting to fill up again as we start to get ready for the spring. I am really looking forward to spring because I will be able to grow a lot of my house plants outdoors in a shaded area that gets morning light. It is a care tip of mine in terms of how you increase the growth of your tropical indoor plants, or the plants we grow indoors. And speaking of which, plant products, again, I always have to talk about plant products because I often get messages on Instagram. And if you're not following me on Instagram, definitely consider following me at Growfold. Send me a direct message. I've been having a lot of fun with Instagram as well. But I get a lot of questions about what plant products I use, what fertilizers I use. And you already know, if you are a plant foldie, and you guys, For those that are new to the channel, I call my viewers and subscribers, say it with me, plant foldies. My name is Richie. I do daily plant shopping videos, plant content. That was what I call my viewers, is plant foldies. But plant foldies, Miracle Grow garden feeder, $17.98. This is the stuff that are hitting the shelves for 2026. These are my recommendations to get you ready to boost all of the growth for your plants. Miracle Grow garden feeder, because I like to attach this on a hose and basically water all my plants at once outdoors. You know, when you talk about like house plants that are struggling, oftentimes it's because of the watering. But if you're growing them outdoors, it's so much easier to just take a hose and water every plant down versus taking a watering can and taking a lot of time to do it. That's really where my struggles are. That's really where I always say I am an underwaterer, because I just don't always take the time to water my plants. And that's full transparency, but Miracle Grow fertilizer is great. This is the really good value for the money you spent, $11.98. You have the all-purpose Miracle Grow fertilizer. This is great to really boost your plants. It pretty much works for any type of plant. You know, in terms of the mixture, it is a 24, that's the nitrogen, 8 and 16 mixture. So it definitely does cover all the bases of plants. Obviously, you know, for future content and videos, I will really delve into that. And that's what's really inspiring about just the new year. All of the things I've started to change up in terms of the YouTube channel. I really hope you guys are enjoying this type of content where it's a little bit more candid. You definitely get to see my face here, and hopefully we are going to continue to grow our channel. But you can see right here, if you're looking for something like possibly having your Hoyas bloom, you can always try the Bloom Booster Flower Food by Miracle Grow, because it has a high is it phosphorus, the middle number, which is a 30. So the higher the middle number is on fertilizers, the better chance of you actually promoting growth. So I did just want to take a little bit of time to show you what is actually hitting the shelves in terms of plant fertilizer. I think that that is pretty much consistent though throughout the year. And that's the reason why whenever you go to a big box store, you will find pretty much all the essentials you need for plants. So we're going to go ahead and take a gander, take a walk. Let's get excited and let me know what plant you are finding on the shelves for 2026, January 2026. So let's go ahead and take a look at this Lowe's location. right, plant foldies, you can see the pan around at this Lowe's location, and I'm really glad that there's not a lot of a crowd here, so I can take a little bit more time to talk about some of the plants that we are finding for January 2026, things that we can buy or add into our houseplant collection at the beginning of the new year. And what do y'all think about my Karopi shirt? That's one thing about going face on YouTube, is showing myself on in front of the camera, is I can show you a little bit of my personal style and just a little bit more about me. Feel free to ask me questions in the comment section about myself personally, but let's go ahead and talk about this. And this was actually the first one that got my attention. This one is a, let me not knock over some of this stuff. This is a philodendron white knight on a totem. So Urban Jungle Plants now has these plants right here for $24.98, and it is on a totem. So Urban Jungle, I featured this in some of my earlier videos that I posted the first week of 2026, the new year. Definitely check out those other videos, binge watch it if you like. I would really appreciate it, and definitely let me know. But yeah, look at this. This is a philodendron white knight, and you can tell it's a philodendron white knight because of the petioles and stems. It has a white variegation. To tell if it is a philodendron white wizard, it would not have the white stems or petioles. It will actually just have green stems and petioles. And for a philodendron white princess, if you look closely, the petioles and stems would also have some pinkish reddish lining. But I love the royal family philodendron, and this is another one where philodendron needs to be growing on a totem pole and moss pole. You can see that it's got some nice aerial roots. Now, we also looked at a lot of these plants that are on totem poles and moss poles, but what's interesting is if you are actually watching other content, and I do plan on creating plant trends for the 2026, the new year, a lot of content creators on YouTube are mentioning that a lot of people are actually getting tired of moss poles and extensions for those philodendrons. I honestly say that I don't really grow a lot of philodendrons now that need to grow on a totem pole or moss pole, just because I actually have to take the time to attach a plant. So when you look at that philodendron white knight over here, at least you can see that it's already made it easy for the consumer. And you know, the reason why I like to go big box store plant shopping, and I know some people really want me to kind of revert back to doing the format of picking up the plants and just kind of talking through, I just feel like being able to show myself in front of the camera as I pick up the plants makes it a little bit more personal. I don't know, plant foldies, I really do want to get some of that constructive feedback in the comments section, and definitely check that out. And as far as my pinned comments, if you truly want to support me, I'm going to always have a pinned comment in the comment section where I'm trying to garner some feedback or some type of open conversation. Definitely take the time to comment in that. So just a couple of call to actions for our plant foldies. You already know who you are. And for anybody that takes time to actually watch my video all the way through, or at least the majority of it, thank you so much. Maraming salamat po, which means thank you very much in Tagalog, because I am Filipino, and next month I'll actually be going to the Philippines with my husband Luke, my best friend Isaac, his uncle, and it's going to be an amazing time. So stay tuned for that content. But as far as plants that we're seeing, I have to really highlight Urban Jungle Plants, because if you look right here, look at all of the Urban Jungle Plants we have. It says build your sanctuary, let's grow together. And as far as growing together, things I like to talk about when it comes to Urban Jungle Plants is, number one, the price you're getting, the value you're getting for their plants. $14.98, and we have a beautiful philodendron golden goddess, also known as philodendron lemon lime. Now this particular philodendron is a neon plant, and as far as plant trends, houseplants for 2026, the new year, I know that it's not necessarily a trend yet, but I feel like social media has a way of creating trends, because that's really how you start a trend, right? You see something on TikTok and then everybody is after it. But I feel like neon colored plants are really beautiful, and I think that this needs to become a trend. The only problem with neon colored plants is neon colored plants tend to need quite a bit of light in order for it to really maintain its coloration. So as far as this one though, $14.98 by Urban Jungle Plants. Like I've always mentioned, in terms of the home decor potential, this one really has beautiful texture on the terracotta planter. I mean, can you tell? I love terracotta planters. Let me know in the comment section if you like to grow your plants in terracotta planters. But in terms of Urban Jungle is the master of terracotta planter treatment. So if I were to pick a plant to buy off of this shelf, it would definitely be this because of the plant pricing and also the easy care tips. The only drawback is it does need a totem pole or moss pole for it to continue to grow its best life, or at least grow the best of its potential. But other than that, very good value for it. These are some of the traditional terracotta hand-painted planters that Urban Jungle Plants actually offers. This one again is for $14.98. This is a Peperomia Ginny, which actually has more of a succulent type behavior. When you sun stress this, if you look closely, there is more red margins, and that's when the plant is receiving more light than it necessarily needs. It doesn't really harm it. Sometimes it will just sun stress it where it does change color. Sometimes it does bleach the plant, but if you like that look, that neon colored look, it's okay as well. But you'll see that Urban Jungle Plants, that's some of the new stuff you're seeing. And then obviously this is a very new planter. We've seen this in other shopping videos of mine. This is called the Colis, I think that's how you pronounce it. $14.98. But look at the stoneware look of this planter for this bird's nest fern. Lovely, isn't it? So as far as what we're seeing, again, Urban Jungle has some of the totems. They've been utilizing a lot of these new like climbing plants. We're still seeing the quintessential treatment of their terracotta look, and that just goes to show again the aesthetics. Now, I've highlighted this in several of the videos, and I'm probably going to just continue to highlight this for the new year, at least for the month of January. And this is really just the self-watering planters that Urban Jungle Plants has actually produced. And what I like about it is completely made of recycled material. So you'll see we've got rice husk, straw scraps, wheat shells, coffee hulls, bamboo powder, and recycled plastic. So the sustainability that Urban Jungle Plants has made with the planters, it's pretty awesome, and I think we should commend them. You can see here another plant that's hitting the shelves for January 2026 is a Philodendron Moonlight, $24.98. And this is another gorgeous plant that is easy. It is a neon colored plant, and it is another one that I feel like kind of goes along the side of neon colored plants as a trending plant for 2026. Same thing with this Dracaena Lemon Surprise in a self-watering planter. So as far as the plant folies, since I've been making these big box or plant shopping videos, I do want to ask if any of you guys have actually bought new plants from Urban Jungle Plants. Let me know again in the comments section. And then I'm also going to feature this right here. Urban Jungle Plant. This one is the self-watering planter, the two-tone. So we've got the gray and then the cream tone. This one is an Alocasia poly, and as far as Alocasias, that is a question that a lot of people ask, is why Alocasias are pushed as houseplants when they are so challenging to adapt as an indoor plant. Because when you think about plants, like all of these plants we are looking at this big box store, they came from some environment outdoors in some part of this world, and some of them have adapted to become more adaptable to grow long-term indoors. Alocasia, at least for me, is not a plant I would necessarily recommend. They're beautiful, but they're hard to grow indoors because of the spider mite potential. Other things, another plant that we're seeing hit the shelves for 2026 is $14.98. Look at this Alocasia right here. I don't know if it's an Alocasia golden bone, For my alocasia lovers, let me know in the comment section what this plant ID is. But this one is another urban, or actually it's not Urban Jungle, Live Trends Design plant. You know, Live Trends Design and Urban Jungle tend to look very similar in their approach, except that Live Trends Design tends to be definitely more on the modern contemporary side. Also, again, on the shelves is we have a lot of planters that are still on clearance, and I don't know if it's the residual reset of some of these planters, but we do have a bunch in the middle. And then in terms of Costa Farms plants, I think what we're seeing mostly, at least in the Dallas-Fort Worth area, is a lot of hanging baskets, specifically this neon beauty here called a neon philodendron hederaceum neon. $19, and actually not 19, sorry, $21.98 in an 8-inch planter. One of my favorite plants, one of my I would say wish list plants to want to add to my collection, just because look at that neon coloration here. This Lowe's location is absolutely amazing in the fact that they always keep their house plants super organized, so kudos to this Lowe's location. But this right here is a beautiful neon philodendron hederaceum neon, and this is another one that's reaching the shelves for 2026. We'll look at some more of the Costa Farms plants that are hitting the shelves as well. But as far as Costa Farms, they're always going to have a plethora of different types of Costa Farms exotic angel plants. You can see that this one, and I've shown this in a lot of my shopping videos, $5.98. This is a Dracaena Florida beauty, and she is a beauty. One of the plants that I would consider adding to my collection again, it's just a matter of whether it's really worth it, because as far as like what is hitting the shelves as far as new house plants for the new year, we're also talking about trends, right? So I will eventually make a separate trend for plant trends for 2026 very soon, so please stay tuned for that. But one trend that we've kind of started talking about is a lot of plant lovers and anybody that collects plants are coming out of the mindset of collector and more of curator. And what I mean by that is just downsizing your plant collection, being very intentional with the plants you buy. I know for me, I know that I have last year started hoarding so many Aglaonema. It just was like more of a plant addiction for me. But this year I'm really trying not to buy any more plants. But you know, when you're doing like content that centers around shopping for houseplants, that's a little difficult. Feel free to leave in the comment section if you also agree or resonate with that. And as I pick up this plant right here, this is a beautiful gold dust croton, $5.98. So again, Costa Farms does it in terms of just consistency. And you know, you got to hear me say this. Look at this Hedera helix. This is a Hedera helix, and we are still mispronouncing Hedera helix in 2025. This is a sterling ivy, and I don't know, English ivies, is this going to be a trend? Are we going to try to grow this English ivy? Let me know in the comment section. And I did want to shout out again, Leap. If you look at the community tab on my YouTube channel, Leap posted a gorgeous Hedera helix. I do encourage everybody to check out the post in the community tab, because that's where I will be most active these days. Whenever I upload a new video, I will already have it shared in the community section. Definitely engage, definitely let me know what you think of these reposts, and also just participate in the polls, because I really want to garner a lot of I guess just feedback, constructive feedback, because this year is the year where I'm going to make it a goal to grow this channel, but grow it in a more organic way, where the people that truly appreciate me as an individual, as a content creator, share the same vision. And that's really the kind of viewers that I want to see, somebody that's actually going to appreciate the content versus fixating on, say, the number of subscribers I have, or even just catering to a niche that may not necessarily like this type of content, and that's okay. So I know that I'm yapping a little bit, but Y'all asked for it, the face reveal. It just gives me even more of an open gate to just be my most authentic self. Now, plant foldies, what else is hitting the shelves as far as plants and plant accessories is, again, these planters here. So these are all on clearance right now. And a tip to save money whenever you're shopping for planty things is right after the holidays. A lot of big box stores, for instance, like Lowe's, they'll do a reset of their collection of planters. So they will still do a lot of clearancing out. So if you're looking for budget friendly, super cheap, stylish planters, you need to be shopping at Lowe's. I know that I was able to get the ginkgo planter I've been looking for an entire year, and I finally got it on clearance a little while back. Definitely watch that video where I gifted myself a Christmas gift. And as far as this one, like, this is another planter. Right now it is $13.57, originally $20, so you are saving quite a bit of money. It is on clearance. I just don't know if they're going to further mark this down. I don't know about you, but you know, for the new year, in terms of like what's definitely hitting the plant market as far as big box is concerned, I do think the aesthetics behind planters is going to be critical in order for some of these nurseries to really succeed. I think the competition is still there. I do think that a lot of people are also going to gravitate to a plant like this, which is also hitting the market for January 2026. Self-watering planter, $24.98, Urban Jungle plant. This is a Neon Pothos, either Pothos, Pothos, Epiphyllum aureum. Let me know in the comment section how you pronounce it, but in terms of what I mean by this plant being more of a trendy plant, I might as well have just made like a plant trends for 2026, but that'll be a separate video. I say this is going to be a trend in a sense that a lot of people are definitely going to go back to the basics of growing plants that are easy care. You guessed it, right? Easy care, as in plants that grow vigorously, that can tolerate lower light conditions, that are easy to propagate, that are budget friendly and cost effective. And you can't beat a pothos plant like this one, Golden Pothos by Urban Jungle Plants. And I swear I am just so impressed with the line of Urban Jungle plants that have made it on the shelves. You can see over here, I'm gonna walk over here and then pan around and give you some more insights. It has become a little bit easy for me to film because, again, there's not as a lot of people shopping, but you can see this right over here. We've got some more large foliage plants. We've got a Ficus Taniki. I love that one as well. Now, I am going to ask the plant foldies for some of the recent videos I have posted. Do you guys actually like the scheduled videos? Have you actually attempted to add the notification so you never miss any of the videos? Definitely want to do that, because I feel like consistency is one thing that I'm making a huge effort, a huge push for our plant community on this YouTube channel. I just feel like it kind of fell apart for me over the holidays. The holidays actually took a huge toll for me, but now I am refreshed and inspired to show you what plants, again, are making it to the big box stores, like this Dracaena right here, $13.98. I know that some of y'all are just really not into Dracaenas, but I do believe that we should root for the underdog, and so I will always feature Dracaenas. And then as far as plant trends for 2026, new house plants that are reaching the shelves, Costa Farms is really resetting its basics in terms of lots of easy care houseplants like this Philodendron hederaceum right here. So love the green foliage. I know everybody loves variegated plants, but the green foliage is going to be much easier to maintain, much easier to grow, and much easier to appreciate, just because look, it's so lush and full, and there is something about a very healthy looking green plant. Now over here, I'm gonna pick this one up. This one is for $16.98, and this is called a dogtail cactus in a 6-inch planter by Costa Farms. And this again is a tropical type of succulent and cactus. I would love to learn more, so if you guys can please give me the care tips in the comment section, that would be amazing. Oh my gosh, there's just so many plants to look at and just so little time. I've been trying to make my videos kind of a mixture of really short videos, long format videos, and that is another question I'm going to continue to ask. Do y'all prefer the 1 hour plus videos I used to do, or do you guys also enjoy the 30-minute, maybe 30 to 40-minute plant shopping videos? I really need y'all to give me lots of details in the comment section, because I'm trying to balance and see what that looks like. But as you can see right here, super surplus of different types of plants that we have here. Some of them are kind of left over from the holidays. You might be able to find some savings like this right here. These are all 50% off. This is now like $4 for this beautiful air plant that has a polar bear. So when you think about what is hitting the shelves in January 2026 in terms of houseplants, you will still find seasonally, past decorations like this. This is such a cute one. And then you also have these like Santa Claus elf looking things with an air plant. These are by Live Trends Design, and these are now massive discount, 50% off. And I don't know if you guys actually look for sales or if you wait to buy certain plants when they go on clearance. I know that Lowe's is definitely a good place to do that, because they're always constantly going through plants. And behind me, when you think about plant finds for January 2026, what's hitting the shelves at big box stores, you can see, look at all of the shelves here. So we're gonna go ahead and just pick up a couple of plants. I know you guys miss me doing the B-roll, so I'm gonna take myself out of the camera for a sec and pick up some plants and give you guys some care tips and insights that way.
Blindfoldies, what you will find whenever you're going to a big box store and going shopping at the beginning of January 2026, for instance, is that most of the shelves are starting to get restocked with new houseplants. You can see right here, juvenile form of Monstera deliciosa, and they just have so many plants to the point where they actually have to have extra racks. This one is a trending tropicals Costa Farm plant. This is a Syndapsis Kalimantan for $24.98. And then we have Urban Jungle Plants, $24.98. This is a golden pothos on a totem. And like I said again, totems have become a trendy new plant purchase, at least for these big box stores. And it'll be interesting to see if people are going to get into growing plants on a totem pole or a moss pole. I know some people are kind of tired of them, but if you can already buy a plant that is attached to one, I don't think there is a problem with that. Then we also have a dark mystery Pilea for $9.98 by Costa Farms. Love the dark foliage. It is another plant that I just like to admire, but not necessarily purchase, because I haven't been able to keep that plant alive. Dracaena Janet Craig compacta. This one is for $14.98 by Urban Jungle Plants. And as I mentioned, I'm just really impressed with your Urban Jungle Plants. At least they're new releases for the new year. And I wouldn't be surprised if a lot of the viewers that are watching today's shopping video will end up buying an Urban Jungle plant if you are into buying plants at a big box store like Lowe's. Dieffenbachia crocodile. This one is for $24.98 by Costa Farms, and I've seen the mature version of this. If you get a chance, check out my YouTube video, search Plant Keeper Inc., and it is a detailed local nursery that actually has a bunch of those Dieffenbachias in mature form, and you will be surprised with the texture of the leaves. And as I spin around here, again, Plantfoldies, you can see that this location is quite full. It's packed with so many gorgeous plants, many easy care house plants, and we're just going to go ahead, pan around, and look at what else they have available. You can see that this is an end cap full of Live Trends design plants. This one is a Peperoma Ginny. This one again behaves more like a succulent. I love that whenever you get it a lot of light and you sun stress it, you'll see more red margins and borders on the leaves. And then I thought this was an Urban Jungle planter, but it's actually a Live Trends design planter. This one is for $15.98. Sansevieria, the bird's nest form, and you can see the natural look of this particular planter. I like it. It's got some neutral tones, which makes it easy to just put into any type of interior space. And then you can just see the shapes and forms of these planters by Live Trends Design. And we also have an Easy Care houseplant, a ZZ Zenzi plant, which is more of a compact variety of a ZZ plant in general. And then we have a ficus ginseng here. This one is for $19.98. I do like the plant, but I am a bigger fan of the checkered pattern planter. I'm not really into like textures on planters, but this one I would make an exception for. I definitely do believe that a lot of these house plants that you can buy at big box stores can be utilized as really good interior design pieces. And then you can see that for $6.98, Live Trends Design also has these moss poles and cocoa poles to support any plants that are needing to grow on a support system. And obviously lots of ceramic hanging basket planters. These are the 5-inch ones. We also have Haworthias right above it. I do like the hanging basket styling, and we'll go ahead and just continue to pick up some plants and take a look at them. as I round up today's big box store plant shopping video by showing you just a couple more of Costa Farms exotic angel plants. These plants right here make good starter plants because they are a little bit smaller. So if you don't have a big space to fill up, you can always just get a basic easy care syngonium butterfly, for instance. This one is in a 3.5 inch or 4-inch planter for only $5.98. And for 2026, I really am excited to see if Costa Farms will actually increase their line of exotic angel plants, because we do see quite a bit of these. We see trays and trays of houseplants in all of these big box stores. And as I continue to have hopefully consistent shopping videos to share throughout the year, know that I will still feature a lot of these Costa Farms exotic angel plants. But what I'm going to do a little bit differently is perhaps do a plant haul where I talk about Costa Farms exotic angel plants, their uses, how to style them in your interior space. So definitely look forward to that content. I am just really happy that I've been very productive at the very beginning of the new year. I intend to continue to stay on schedule, stay ahead of having content already created for you. So if you do subscribe to my YouTube channel, again, just make sure you have all the notifications bell on, and whenever you see a video that pops up on your feed as a scheduled video, typically 7 p.m. Central Standard US time, go ahead and turn on all notifications. I do encourage all the plant foldies, those that support me, while you are waiting for some of these videos to premiere, you can always watch some of my older videos. Definitely engage with them, leave some comments, leave some feedback. I am really wanting to encourage that open dialogue again in the comment section. That is going to give me a little bit more data and information of what our plant foldies are looking for as this channel continues to evolve, continues to improve, and continues to just be the plant foldy headquarters. I've really enjoyed the last first week of January. The second week of January is already beginning to be an amazing time, and it's because I can take you to Lowe's, show you what is on the shelves for January 2026 in terms of houseplants. I mean, look at this juniper bonsai, for instance, and you already know, plant foldies, I am an official affiliate of the bonsaisupply.com. Use my promo code GROWFOLDS for 10% off your entire purchase. They've got some amazing bonsai soils and supplies, and thank you to the plant foldies that have put in orders on the bonsaisupply.com and utilize my promo code GROWFOLDS to get that additional discount. But as I walk around here, I will give you my final thoughts, and hopefully this will inspire you to go check out your local Lowe's and let me know in the comment section what plants you are finding on the shelves for January 2026.
All right, plant foldies, you can see that there are just so many plants. This one is the Live Trends Design end cap right here. So these are the beautiful new plants that we have from Live Trends Design. You already know that I love Live Trends Design, and you can see that they've got all of these new hanging baskets, new planters like this right here. This is a ficus ginseng. I love the texture, just the pattern of this planter. And I think for 2026, whatever is hitting the shelves in terms of houseplants, whenever we're shopping at these big box stores, it definitely is pay attention to the planters. Again, this one's for $19.98, a beautiful plant. And we also have this right here. So the stone treatment of these Live Trends Design plants. Again, look at this. We've got the glaze, and then we also have the texture of the stoneware on this ZZ plant. This one again is for $19.98, but if you're looking for budget-friendly, easy care houseplants that you can find hitting the shelves for January 2026, the new year, new houseplants for the new year, you got to go to Lowe's for these Live Trends Design plants. And then also this one right here, $17.98. Look at this hanging basket. I featured this in a lot of my plant shopping videos, and again, plant foldies. I encourage y'all, if you are liking this type of content, to go ahead and watch another video of mine after this. I would love it, and please you know, leave a comment on those videos. But as far as today's episode, to kind of sum up some of the plants that we found today, definitely some of my picks would definitely be the Urban Jungle totems, philodendron white knight, for instance, for $24.98. And then we also have all of these recyclable self-watering planters, again, that Urban Jungle has right here, like this Neon Pothos. Hopefully you guys have enjoyed a lot of the content that you're seeing in terms of this houseplant big box or plant shopping video. It is a quiet day today, so that's really nice. And in terms of just the plants we're seeing on the shelves, it's very consistent on a lot of these big box stores. I mean, obviously this one is a classic philodendron lemon lime that I like, and again, $14.98. In terms of the Live Trends design plants, we're seeing lots of alocasia making it into the market, like this one again. Beautiful alocasia. I just wouldn't recommend purchasing it if you are not really keen on its plant care tips. We also have these new cat hanging planters by Live Trends Design, $17.98. Love this as well. As far as you know, Costa Farms plants, I would just say they've come out with a lot of these hanging baskets. Again, all of these neon philodendron heteroeciums hitting the market. They've got a crop of these, and hopefully you'll pick one up as well. It is one of my recommendations for a stress-free house plant for the New Year's. And so, plant foldies, I hope you guys have enjoyed today's shopping episode. I am definitely enjoying this process even more so. And if you like this kind of content and you're actually going to commit to watching my videos all the way through, go ahead and press the subscribe button with all the notification bell on. If you want more content, you can also join my YouTube membership tier, where I will be giving you guys even more updates of my personal life and just additional content. You'll get some more perks, you'll get more discounts when I finally release some of my Grow Folds plant foldy merch, like a Hydra Helix t-shirt, for instance. I would love that as well. Other than that, definitely go ahead and start clicking on the video that's popping up. Watch that video if you haven't already. I'm linking all of my videos and being very transparent in my intention for that. I hope you choose to watch some of my other videos. Definitely comment on the pinned comment that I have in all of my videos. I would love to open a dialogue. And as always, my name is Richie at Grow Folds. Good vibes only, good vibes always, and I will see you on the next one, plant foldies. Bye.